On social media over the last couple of years, I have heard many times atheists or deconstructionists saying, if God really wanted me to believe, he knows what it would take. He could do something to me or show something to me that would make me believe, but he's chosen not to do that. I read a verse in Matthew today. It's Matthew 27:42. This is while Jesus is on the cross, and the religious leaders are standing around watching this. And they say, he saved others. He cannot save himself. He's the King of Israel. Let him come down now from the cross, and we will believe in him. It's the first part of that verse that really caught my attention. He saved others. This is what they're acknowledging, and we know what they saw. They saw Jesus heal a man's withered hand. They saw that, and their response was they went out to plot with the Herodians on how they might do away with Jesus. This is early on in his ministry, and they went to plot with the Herodians. They hated the Herodians, but they hated Jesus more. They saw that Jesus healed a man born blind. And you can see their response to that in John chapter 9. It's just, I look at that response and I say, really? This is your response? And I don't know if they were there when Jesus raised Lazarus from being buried for days, but they certainly knew about it because a lot of people knew about it, and there was a big commotion because of the fact that Jesus had raised Lazarus, and that was upsetting the religious leaders. And because of Lazarus walking around after being dead for 4 days, they thought it might be best if they put Lazarus back in the grave. That was their response to Jesus raising Lazarus. So this part, he saved others. They knew what he did. They were witnesses to all of this. And then they said, let him now come down from the cross and we will believe in him. That so sounds like people I've talked to on here. God has given us evidence, and we're told that in Romans 1:20. The evidence is there. And my doubters will come on and laugh at me and give me the LMAO and think that they're so smart. You don't see. I am amazed that educated people don't see. I don't know why. My thought about that is if Jesus did come down from the cross, I'm not sure, after all they've seen, that it really would make any difference to them. They had enough evidence. They were lying to themselves. And then the other thing is simply Jesus had a much bigger plan. There was a handful of religious leaders sitting there. Oh, he come down from the cross. We will believe. We little bunch of people here will believe. But Jesus was on the cross for a larger plan to save all of humanity. God has a lot on his plate, and we don't always see everything that he has on his plate. Kind of a small recognition of that I'll mention. Our daughter has said to me, there are times she's stuck in traffic or she's behind some person who's driving 5 miles an hour under the speed limit. And she's blocked in and she can't get around and she's going to be late for wherever she's going. And she thinks, I wonder what tragedy, an accident or something that might happen up ahead that God is keeping me from so that I'll be safe. There's a lot going on. God's plan is bigger than what we can see. And evidence for the reality of Him, it's everywhere. It is everywhere. And like when the religious leaders earlier asked Jesus to give them a sign, and He said, I'll give this generation one sign, the sign of the prophet Jonah, referring to the resurrection. Yeah, that's a big one. And I would say, deal with that. Start there.